Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee Live. Uh, got a neat opportunity yesterday. Had a chance to talk to someone who's been watching my show and get some, you know, feedback on what they liked, what they didn't. Talked a bit about my wife's biggest criticism to the show is that I'm a little too boring, and we're talking about educational value versus entertainment value and striking that balance. And I'm definitely still seeing a little more on the. I think I sound like a college lecturer more than I do entertainer, which is fine. I'm not here to just entertain. I'm here to educate. But simultaneously, I do want to try to make things a bit more fun too. But the biggest thing he said is, love to hear more about AI. Everybody knows that's where the world's going, and it's going there fast. I want to talk a bit about where we are now and the future stages, kind of where it's going to go. So AI is it's going crazy. I just popped up the news, typed in AI marketing. I've been doing this about once a week or so, and it's amazing just how quickly you see stuff developing. Go ahead and throw this in, and now take a look. 6 hours ago. In fact, let me see. Can I sort this by? Yeah, we'll just see. It's fine. Okay. Hi Auto launches AI marketing toolkit for quick service restaurants. Future of email marketing lies in AI. As marketing budgets shrink, CMOs are turning to AI. AI adoption in marketing, ensuring ethics and privacy. It's going to be a very interesting one. 11 AI marketing tools your team should be using in 2024. The market size in the AI market is projected to reach 184 billion in 2024. That's crazy to me. We have a nascent market, brand new, just really popped up in the public eye a year and a half ago. Lots been going on with AI behind the scenes for years, with very similar to the capabilities we're seeing now, just without the chatbot interface, if you will. But this is a huge market. It's projected to reach $184 billion in 2024. An idea for scale here. Let's go. Uh, Largest markets. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, that's gonna be nice. So we'll skip that now. But either way, the point is 184 billion is a big, big market. And yet this is a brand new product and it's early in its release and it's still the Wild West. There's no regulation at all. Global AI and computer vision market size to exceed 118 billion. Unicorn AI marketing startup Typeface acquires consumer chatbot. Google launches AI-based search for US users. AI in marketing, ethical dilemmas explored. Typeface AI-enabled marketing beyond the prompt. Wordlift AI SEO agent reshapes SEO content marketing in the UK. Typeface AI-enabled marketing beyond the prompt. Quick note on that. I'm not sure what this article is actually about, but I was just thinking about a typeface with font. Um, Fonts are interesting. Everybody uses fonts. Everybody uses about the same fonts. Fonts obviously are broken into two major categories, serif and sans serif. And then within those, there's thousands and thousands of varieties of each. At the end of the day, major brands almost all have their own custom fonts that they use for everything that either they develop or they purchase and have rights to so they can differentiate their visual style within their marketing by always using the same font. One of the reasons everyone doesn't do that is making a font is a pain. You have to create each level and read size relation, yada yada yada. Have a style that needs to flow nicely. There's a lot of art to a font. With a AI out there, just throwing it out there, developing a custom font for your company is going to become the easiest thing in the world, and basically everyone's going to need to have a custom font. So that'll be just something new we'll start seeing. AI SEO agents reshaping content marketing in the UK. Marketers race to upskill as AI, analytics, and automation reshape the industry. Very important. This is something I've been talking to everyone I've been working with or worked for me in the past, year or more now is if you're in the marketing world, this honestly goes for almost any industry, but I generally stick to marketing. Um, you need to be learning AI. If you are not well versed in AI, you're going to end up obsolete. And here's what's going on. ChatGPT, when it hit the market, the old people went, the new toy, whatever. I'll leave that for the kids. The professionals in the industry right now, the older professionals, um, I've seen about a 50-50 adoption rate. About half of them are starting to adopt it and go, oh, yeah, it's good. And they're using it for their email and this and that. The other half are still ignoring it completely. When you get to the young people in business, interestingly, I see more young people so far ignoring it in business, which I think is a huge mistake. And I've been coaching people to learn more about it. And the reason it's such an important thing to learn more about it is there is one market of people who's not ignoring AI, and that's the high school students, college students. The students right now, the kids right now, the ones who aren't even in the working world right now, are already in AI. They're already learning how to prompt engineer. For high school kids, it was a no brainer. They all of a sudden had a new tool that could do their homework for them as soon as they figured it out. Guess what? They jumped on that bandwagon quickly. And the funny thing about it is, the poor kids inadvertently educated themselves on accident trying to learn AI. They're getting education, one of the most valuable things they can. With all the kids, all the high school kids, all the middle school kids, the college kids, all learning AI. And mind you, the current middle school and elementary school kids are going to get raised in AI completely, very similar to the way that kids born in 2010 were raised in the dot com era. They didn't live through quote unquote the dot com boom. They were raised in it. It was just normal to them. Cell phones, they were born with one in their hand and can type faster than you and I with their thumbs. Well, AI is going to be the same thing. The kids are already learning it. So as those kids start graduating from high school and college and entering the workforce, they are all going to bring with them a fairly solid AI tool set. At the very least, they're going to bring a familiarity to work with AI tools and prompting that the older generation isn't going to have. So, to all the young Gen X and old millennials out there, even the young ones, now's the time to be diving in and really learning AI. 'Cause if you don't, you're going to be left behind. It's here, it's taking over. So when it says marketers race to upskill as AI analytics and automation reshape the industry, they better be. Because if not, we're all going to be out of a job. How far do you have to go in your knowledge of AI? I think everyone should go as far as having a basic understanding of what it is and how it works, and then dive into at least the basics of prompt engineering. There's 1,000 guides out there already. If you want something more on the technical side, AWS has a great course. It's like a 1 hour course on prompt engineering available online free of charge through the AWS Skills Builder. It's all about prompt engineering and different types of prompts. That takes a more um, scientific, I guess, approach to it. And really talks about the different types of prompting, chain prompting versus this prompting, that prompting, the other prompting, and how to use these different things to achieve what you want, how those different prompts work to achieve what you want. If you don't want to go that far and take a course in it, whether even if it's a free course for a couple of hours, there's 1,000 one pagers, one sheeters, etc. out there already that walk you through prompt engineering and give you the basics. Or actually, I just remembered, give myself a shameless self plug here. I did a series on these a little while back. To figure out how to find them again. Um, file. And so it used to be a lot easier to find activity for me because I didn't put much out. But now that I've been doing a podcast. It's a little harder to find what I'm looking for on my LinkedIn, but let's see if I can. Okay, if we jump way down back before I started my podcast, all these guys popping up, moving down. There's got to be an easier way to do this. Let's figure this out. Spotlight these at the top of the page. But I did some very basic guides to using ChatGPT, a beginner, intermediate, and advanced, all on even the advanced still being at a basic for everybody level, not for expert level. And okay, so it's marketing frontier. We should be getting close. Here we go. So I have a beginner's guide to using ChatGPT, intermediate guide to using ChatGPT, advanced guide to using ChatGPT. These I wrote these, I think a year ago. Yeah, a year ago now, back when I kind of first hit the scene. It's just a guideline to help people out. But what I do here is I jump into just kind of the high level overviews, right? Prompts. They're a starting point. How do they work? You put in a prompt, you get something out. How, based on what type of prompt, you can get different stuff. Priming, where you provide additional context. Once again, very basic level. Prompt without priming. Write a short story about a rabbit. Response generic short story about a rabbit. With priming, write a short story about a rabbit who lives on the moon and has magical powers. You're going to get a very different story from it, right? That's priming. Another example of priming. Um, I was looking at for personas, right? Set up personas within ChatGPT as a Shakespearean character. Tell me your thoughts on love, right? Imagine you're a famous chef. Share a unique recipe for a chocolate dessert. This is all basic priming and prompting right here. Be clear and specific with your prompts to help it understand your requests. Use priming techniques to get more accurate experience with personas to explore voices. Very basic level, but even that will get you beyond just using it in place of your Google search. Then I put out an intermediate guide, a bit more about prompt engineering. So an engineered prompt, right? So explain the process of photosynthesis, responsive general explanation of photosynthesis. It's an engineered prompt, as they call it. In 3 sentences, summarize the main steps of photosynthesis. Then its photosynthesis begins when plants yada yada, and it gives you those 3 main steps. Then you can start getting to advanced priming techniques. For example, um, providing context and background, setting constraints, etc. So, write a short story about a time traveling detective. It's a short story about a time traveling detective. With advanced priming, write a short story set in Victorian England where a detective has 24 hours to solve a mystery using a time travel device that allows him to visit only 3 specific moments in time. It will spit out a story within those constraints. And then troubleshooting, incomplete answers, right? Um, on and on and on. So the intermediate comes to use prompt engineering to optimize its response by being specific, guiding the thought process. Apply advanced priming techniques to provide context that constraints requests alternative answers and troubleshoot common issues. Going to the advanced guide I put out a year ago, um, it then starts getting into chaining prompts and chain prompts. Chaining prompts is where you really start to unlock the basic powers of AI before you get into programming them or into really advanced prompt engineering. Um, and this is just basically putting together complex, multi-part prompts, if you will, that they have to follow through. So list 3 main aspects of marketing strategy. For each aspect, then provide 2 specific ways, then explain how those improve, and leading it down a path. So as you chain, you can start getting even better information as well. Tips for advanced users: use chain prompts to break down complex questions or tasks into smaller interconnected steps. Refine context management by strategically introducing new information, managing the amount of context, and anchoring the AI's understanding, and then leverage external data sources by providing excerpts or summaries within your prompt and asking the AI to analyze or draw conclusions. Those are all just very, very basic level guides to Chat GPT. If you haven't learned it at least that far and have a pretty good mastery of it to where you can go into Chat GPT and get it to give you what you want just through basic prompt engineering, start learning or you're going to get left behind. Let's see what else is going on here today. AI analytics and SEO. Marketers chase the biggest technologies to stay relevant in the industry. Yeah, of course. It's a rat race right now. Everyone's running in circles trying to figure out this whole AI thing because it's kind of weird to me. Everybody's talking about AI right now, yet nobody's really talking about AI, if that makes any sense. And, and what I mean by that is everywhere. You just see AI. I mean, here we're looking at AI marketing news. If you just go to Google News, okay, I bet you we're going to see AI pop up in here. Blah 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 blah. Hashimoto trials, Kiev product placements that made people look bad, memes, controls, yada yada yada. China, Martha Stewart, hacking. Do we have any AI? Here we go. Technology, Gizmodo, Google I/O, hands-on with Project Astra, the AI assistant of the future. The Daily Show mocks the horniness of ChatGPT's AI voice assistant. Oh yeah, if you hadn't heard yet, AI ChatGPT point out an AI voice assistant as well. AI is in the news daily now. You type in, I said AI marketing in the news, and there's just countless articles right now talking about AI. Yet almost all of these things you're seeing in AI have something in common. Every single one of these articles, every single one of these new companies popping up, they're taking a foundation model, being either GPT, I think it's 4.0 now. It's taking Amazon Bedrock or a Titan, or Claude or uh, uh, Watson from IBM or any of the foundation models. And all it's doing is it's using effectively what you saw for prompt engineering behind the scenes, done in Python with some other parameters around to just modify how that foundation model responds to you. And those modifications to the foundation models can customize those models enough to make them individually useful for certain use cases. And so we're seeing that pop up all over. And that's what a lot of these things are. That's all the companies you see popping up. It's just people who are building custom models and still using the foundation models they're using, but just building parameters around them to limit them in their scope. And they're popping up as companies now, left and right, the same way we saw the dot-com boom. What we're not seeing anyone talking about, we're not seeing in the news, is some of the bigger conversations. One, privacy. We saw there was one listing of it here. Here we go. AI adoption and marketing, ensuring ethics and privacy. No one's ensuring ethics and privacy. There might be individual companies that are building ethics and privacy into their AI builds, but at the same time, those are running on the same foundation models that have been having all these issues with ethics and arguably theft of privacy. As this continues growing, you're going to see more of it. And here's what's going to happen. So I was talking to my friend yesterday about where's AI going to go in marketing. We're just looking within the realm of marketing here. There's a huge privacy issue about to pop up. And here's what that is. AI is very good at analyzing large data sets. Where does that tie in to the depreciation of the cookie as well as ethics and privacy? Well, here's where they all come together. We are starting to see a lot of talk about the depreciation of third-party cookie. Google has once again delayed its depreciation of the cookie, but it's coming. At some point soon, the third-party cookie is going away. And when that happens, we are going to be in a whole new world of digital marketing because everything's cookie based right now. All your targeting is cookie based, all your retargeting is cookie based, everything's cookie based. When we get rid of the third party cookie, what's going to happen is there's going to be a huge focus put on 1P data because 1P data is going to be all that you're able to use because you're not going to have third party cookies anymore. Now, you're going to run into some issues with 1P data sharing. We get to that later. I'm not going to focus on that right now. Save that for another stream. But what's going to happen is people are going to realize that 1P data is the data that matters. So they're going to start collecting more data, not less. They're going to try to collect more. And then what they're going to do is they're going to take all that data and they're going to put it into an AI model. And the AI model is going to look at that data and it's going to start developing insights and figuring out what's what. It's going to use 1P data. It's going to use behavior data from individual users and see what they do online. And something I think is really cool, but it's also going to bring up some huge privacy concerns, is as the models analyze these data sets, They're going to start finding similarities. They're going to start finding correlations, things like that within these data sets. And what's going to happen is you're going to find out that targeting, now that you don't have a third party cookie anymore, is going to use different factors. And what it's going to do is it's going to take personality factors. If you take an industry, say B2B SaaS, B2B SaaS, let's go specifically with the ITDMs and B2B SaaS, right? IT decision makers within the B2B SaaS world. There's maybe 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 people in that kind of job, maybe more, maybe less, around that are going to be in, let's say, your buyer's market for your a B2B SaaS company. You want to market to them. How do you get in front of them when you don't have third-party cookies? Well, you have AI models. Look at data sets of B2B SaaS ITDMs. And what you do is you find what interests, what commonalities there are in the data sets. Different industries attract different people. So what you might find, and my name's making this up right now, but what you might find is that ITDMs in the B2B SaaS world all have certain traits, or not all, but large percentage will have certain traits in common. They all may like certain TV shows. Maybe they're all going to like certain social platforms, certain times of day or night for browsing different things. Maybe they have a certain place they all like to read certain types of articles from. AI is going to find all those things. It's going to find those commonalities in um, user groups, and it's going to give new information to marketers to be able to get in front of their audiences. So since you're not going to be able to get a third party cookie, so I can just say target ITDMs and B2B SaaS. Instead, I'm just going to have an AI. I'm going to tell my AI I want to target, ITDMs, the B2B SaaS world. And my AI is going to go and it's going to figure out what they have in common. And it's going to come back and it's going to tell me, okay, you want to be targeting on, you know, YouTube at this time, but then you want to be over here on, Netflix, which will probably go ad based soon, at this time, and then you're going to want this at that time because that's where these people tend to be. It's going to figure out geographies. It's going to go, oh, people who work in this industry tend to live in these neighborhoods. It's going to get down to neighborhoods. It's going to go within the Silicon Valley. It's going to go, oh, the people, the ITDMs are all in approximately this income bracket with this type of companies. They're going to live in this neighborhood, and this neighborhood within, San Jose, within Santa Clara, within Palo Alto, within Milpitas, within San Francisco. It's going to start figuring that type of stuff out, and you're going to be able to geo target in the areas where the people live. It's going to give us all new ways of getting in front of markets without third party cookies. Well, it's also going to start bringing up some very big privacy concerns. Even if you don't put a name and a face to it, the AI, as the data, is going to understand human behavior very well, to the point that manipulating humans is going to become easier than it is currently through AI. So the question becomes, what do you do about that? Well, I'm not a big regulation guy, but this is an area where some regulation might not be a bad thing, some government regulation. Right now, there's none. It's the Wild West. The big tech companies are running the show. They're creating everything. And truth is, the government's going to lag far behind. It wasn't until tons of people had died before seatbelts became required in cars. The same way with AI, it's going to keep going. And, we were talking about just some of the other dangers of AI yesterday. I don't think anyone's taking it seriously enough, and I don't think they will until bad things start happening. And the thing is, by the time the bad things start happening, it's going to start being a little too late. Um, the damage will be done, if you will. And the interesting thing with AI is you can train them. You can make them learn more and more. And individuals can do that. Companies can do that. I can right now go out and train a custom model with new data sets to behave in new ways. There's no untraining. I mean, sure, you can say, oh no, delete, go back to where we were, roll it back, yada, yada, delete the actual data. But the truth is, it's not going to happen. There's not going to be an untraining of AI. People are going to train AI models. They are going to go out and they are going to cause all kinds of horrendous problems. within ethics and privacy. And they're going to be out there. They're going to exist. It's not going to be as simple as going, oh well, that model's no good. Get rid of it. What's going to end up happening is the actual data that makes them function is not going to exist. It's going to propagate. It's going to be out there, and we're just going to see a growth of it, and it's going to get ugly. AI is dangerous. It is incredibly dangerous, incredibly useful, but also incredibly dangerous. And nobody's talking about that yet. And yeah, we're going to see it come out. Marketing at the end of the day is a friendly word for propaganda. And propaganda is all about the art of getting people to do what you want them to do, swaying the opinions of people, making them make a decision or to do something that was not their original intent. With AI understanding people better and better, and with it building personas as these data sets grow and as we see that 1P data, et cetera, and we start seeing AI models putting all these things together and understanding humans at a far deeper level than it does now, especially individual categories of them, we are going to see more and more people um, getting hurt by AI. And nothing is being done about it at all currently. There's been a little bit of chat here and there, but just no action. Everyone's dragging the feet, and the government's also dragging its feet. And it's going to get scary. There's going to be the ability to propagate ideas like it's never been seen before. I mean, just to give a quick conceptual example, look at TikTok, currently getting banned in the US. It's getting banned due to data privacy because it's a Chinese company and they don't want the Chinese to have that data. But if anyone who's ever gone on TikTok, I tried it out once for 2 days. I tested it, and it is addictive. The algorithms that work within TikTok, they just keep you scrolling. And they keep you scrolling and they keep you scrolling. It's fun. And you're on there and you're just checking stuff out. And within an hour or two's time, the algorithms have already started to figure out who you are and they start providing content that you want to see and they hook you. If you take algorithms like that and you combine that with the data of people's likes, dislikes, interests, etc., and you start building, you can build out profiles of 1P data from your platforms that are so accurate about a human being to be terrifying. I guarantee you, without ever knowing what I look like or who I am or putting my face to it, you could end up with a data set that has me identified. It knows where I live. It knows what I watch. It knows my politics, my religion, my interests, my cooking, my food, my clothing, my everything about me can get built out into a profile already. And then you can use AI to analyze those profiles and find similarities. And I guarantee you, an AI could take me and clump me into a group or a dozen different groups of similar traits with other people around. And then from there, you do with it is kind of up to you, right? You can now design messages based directly to cater to me, to my interests, based on what I scroll online, my data, my data footprint, plug that into an AI, get a good feeling of what I want. And then all you have to do is manipulate subtle things within it. And you can start propagating messages secretly. And that's scary. You start getting into an area of influence. It's ridiculous. Because, for example, what you do is you go, okay, I know this guy's interested in AI and marketing and this and that. You could use effectively a DCO at that point to go and build or have an AI just build a custom ad that serves to me, tying into my interests, let's say in AI and marketing, but then throws a couple of words in there that start telling me about a new aspect or something, right? Real or not, wouldn't matter. Whatever message you want to propagate, tie that in with other elements of things I'm interested in, such as AI and marketing, and start feeding that to me over and over in different feeds, et cetera, and through digital advertising. You can start individually targeting messages and propagating individuals based on their own online actions to sway opinions. And there's no regulation around that. Anyone can do it. And people won't even realize that they're being marketed to at a individual personalized level. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up with messages that are have much more weight. They push people a lot farther than they ever did before because it's going to tie directly into their personality. And what you're going to end up having is one, you're going to have some incredible advertising happening, but two, propaganda is going to get out of control because it's going to be individually customizable to tell people what you want to tell them. And they're not even going to know you're doing it. And there's nothing out there right now stopping that. There's nothing out there regulating that. There's no one out there saying anything about that. If you look, one of the House subcommittees, I forgot which one, had a meeting not long ago, and they were talking about big data and what's going on in China with surveillance, and saying how it's all built on the back of American technology, which it is, and how with what's going on in America with companies, we're already using that data to this, that, and the privacy concerns there. Well, the truth is, yes, we're doing all that. I think there was mention of invisible data brokers, scary guys behind the scene that make this happen. Well, I am a invisible data broker, been doing this for years. We're not that scary usually, but yes, it is going on, and it can be used for terrifying purposes. There's nothing to stop anyone right now other than people's individual morals and ethics. It's a scary world, and we're gonna have to see where it goes, and it's something people are gonna have to, you know, keep appraised of, and we need to make sure we don't wait till it's too late because using AI right now, we can already start telling the stories, start propagating the ideas pro AI, which companies are going to do. They're going to put out all the stuff about why it's not damaging, why it's not harmful to try to slow the regulation. At the end of the day, the big players making all the money don't want regulation because that gets in the way of their money. If we don't move quickly, it might be too late. And it's going to get to the point where privacy is going to be a concern of the past. Ethics are going to be unregulatable in the sense of you let it grow too big, it's going to be too late. You're not going to be able to stop it because it's all going to already be out there. It's going to exist, and these systems keep running as long as you pay your electric bill. These systems don't stop running, and we're going to grow and grow, and it's going to get scarier and scarier, and no one's really doing anything about it. So while there's a lot of fun stuff going on in the world of AI, there's also a lot of just crazy. I mean, look at the amount of media just today on AI and marketing, right? These articles go on and on and on. Here we go, down to here. It's taken over. It is not going anywhere. Here we go. AI, AI, AI. Holy grail of retail offers within reach. Use generative AI now. Will kill generic content marketing. New age of POV content. Yeah, everything's going to get personalized to the individual. AI literate talent. Yes, marketers need to be searching for it. Everyone's going to be AI literate very soon. Transcending customer segmentation through AI. That's one of the things I was just talking about. AI or a similar image. Uh, Klarna celebrates high levels of AI adoption across communications, AI academies, SWOT analysis, multimodal AI. Accenture and Adobe could develop industry-specific generative solutions to accelerate marketing transformation. It's changing influencer marketing. On and on and on. AI is everywhere. It's growing rapidly. If you do not learn it now, you will be left behind. You should at least get to the point of being a competent prompt engineer for your industry if you don't go farther. There are already tools out there. Don't pay attention to these yet. They're a dime a dozen. Mind you, if there's one that fits your specific niche, the price seems right, go ahead and try it out. But we're going to see thousands and thousands and thousands of AI companies popping up. It's going to be just like the dot com boom. We're going to see them popping up everywhere. And then over the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see it consolidate as the ones that are good are going to get bigger or bought up, most likely. They get consolidated probably by building them into each other. We're going to see lots of different AIs with similarities get packaged together into a single package. And what we're going to see is we're going to see this giant boom of thousands of AI models appearing just like the dot com era. You're going to see thousands and thousands and thousands showing up. And then as people figure out what's what you'll see is you'll start seeing less and less and less and less and less until at the end in 5 or 10 years, we'll be down to your top five AI companies that will rule the world. And very similar to now when it comes to the internet, almost all internet traffic is basically Google, email, news, social media, and porn, right? With AI, we're going to end up with those five major companies that are going to handle everything, probably owned by the same powerhouses that own the foundation models right now. So we're going to see them owned by Microsoft, Google, IBM, and Intel effectively. Is most likely what's going to happen, and it'll be the monopoly case down the line. But it'll get limited down, and you're going to have the AI functionality to do whatever you want to do from those five type thing. But we're going to hit a craze. It's going to be a boom. There's going to be a bust. There's going to be hundreds of billions of dollars of money trading hands over this. And there's going to be people who are going to get rich. There's going to be people who lose their shirts and everywhere in between. If we don't start regulating, the world's going to get it to be a really scary place. The weaponization of AI is such a important topic that no one's talking about. I want to get into that in this. I just want to talk a little more general at first on where it's going, but I'll definitely do a stream on the weaponization of AI because I think that's one of the scariest things that's going on right now. When I say weaponization, I'm not talking about the robots and Terminators coming for us. I'm talking about the individual weaponization, and where we're going to see that first pop up is actually in high schools. It's going to be terrifying. Um, but as AI continues to develop here, it's going to say in the news, it's not going away, people. Don't think it is. Don't think you can ignore it. Learn it. If you can't beat them, join them. It's time to join them. Anywhere from at the most basic level, figure out prompt engineering. In another 10 years, we're going to have the option to go as far as to, I mean, if based on what Musk said himself when he, with his invention of Neuralink, was can't beat them, join them. The idea is at some point we'll have a direct brain interface with our AIs, and that's kind of the extreme level. So, it goes from prompt engineering all the way up to direct brain interface. Somewhere in there, find your happy medium and learn it. If you aren't versed in AI, if you don't know your way around AI, if you don't know how to do basic prompt engineering, etc., if you don't know how to identify what AI is doing versus, humans, etc., you're going to get left behind. So that's all I got today. Thank you so much for watching. Please click like, subscribe, whatever else, and have a fantastic day and God bless.